Welcome to the Love Deep Lab podcast, helping you integrate sex, sexiness, sacredness, and science in your life and your bedroom. And now, your host, Dr. Stormy.
Hi, I'm your host, Dr. Stormy. Thank you so much for joining us today. So today we are going to talk about one of my very, very favorite practices for myself and also with my clients. We are going to talk today about Tantra. So Tantra is amazing. It has been absolutely life-changing in my own life. I've been practicing Tantra for about 15 years now, and I've seen it transform so many of my clients' sex lives. I've seen it deepen their connection, increase their passion, increase their orgasms, and all of the things. So I get asked a lot about what is Tantra and how can I begin to practice it. So I'm so excited to have you here today to tune in and watch and listen and learn a little bit about this incredible life-embracing philosophy of Tantra. So Tantra gets I could go into so much about the lineage, and I'm certainly no expert, but I'm fairly well read about it because it's such a passion of mine. But there's so many different lineages and sects of Tantra, but mostly we're talking about, in the westernized version, we're talking about Neo-Tantra, which has a little bit more of a focus on the sexuality and tantric sex. So Tantra is really a way of living and being and moving through the world. And then tantric sex is one extension of that. One of the things I love about Tantra is it doesn't separate sensuality, physicality, or sexuality from our growth, from our spiritual growth, or from the divine. It actually puts it all together. We are all sexual beings at our essence, at our core. We all came from the energy of sex. And I love how Tantra brings into light and love sex and sexual energy as a part of devotion, as a part of divine, as a part of experiencing something bigger than yourself. So Tantra, the word itself, means to weave. And I like to think of it as weaving together the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine, sex and spirituality, love and hate. It really weaves together everything. There is room for everything in Tantra. It really is a life-embracing philosophy. It also, from the Indian tradition, really means a text or a practice. And that's the other thing I want to say is Tantra is a way of being, living, and making love. It is a practice. Welcome to the practice. I'm so excited to have you learning about this. I absolutely love Tantra. And in the Tantric traditions, nothing exists that is not divine. Nothing exists that is not divine. So I get asked, why do I want to practice tantric sex? Or that sounds like a lot of work, or I don't know anything about it. Or I get the reputation of Sting and other people in the media saying you can have sex for days and go on and on and on and multiple orgasms. And all of that is true. I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. All of that is true as you deepen your practice with Tantra. But for me, the benefits really, for me sexually, were that apples and oranges. Until I experienced and practiced Tantra and practiced tantric sex, even the really quote unquote great sex that I was having at the time or whatever, was apples and oranges, worlds apart from a deep, connected, full body, energetic, spiritual, tantric sexual experience with a partner. It really is a completely different kind of lovemaking and different kind of sex and different kind of orgasm. The other benefit is mindfulness. An absolute essential part of Tantra and tantric sex is mindfulness and presence. And so can we all use more mindfulness in life, and definitely in the bedroom? The third benefit, I kind of teased it out in the first one, is full body orgasms. Orgasms that blow your mind, that bend the perception of time, that make you lose the boundaries between you and your partner. What's you, what's your partner? It is really full body, non-genital focused orgasms is one of the benefits that can come for you as you practice tantric sex. Another benefit is deeper connection to your partner. And if you're practicing solo Tantra, which we'll talk about, it's always important to practice solo. We call it one-body practice, even if you're in partnership, before you practice two-body practice. So really deepening your connection to, first and foremost, yourself, and then to your partner. It's a beautiful way to do that. And I'd say the last benefit is really prolonged lovemaking. You can make love over and over again. Men can be multi-orgasmic. Women can be multi-orgasmic. We are multi-orgasmic. We learn to tap into that. Men can learn incredible ejaculation and sexual mastery over their orgasm, can learn to separate out ejaculation from orgasm. Did you know that those were different phenomenons in the body? They're so mushed together in most of our Western sex and Western training on sex. So many benefits to Tantra. I'm so excited to have you here listening today. So besides just being a massive Tantra cheerleader, I wanted to share with you 5 ways to begin to practice Tantra in your partnership. And if you're single, there's a lot of these practices that you can do, but also thinking about what is it how would you practice this solo? And then how would that change the person that you bring in and practice this in partnered sex? So the first tip to begin to practice Tantra in the realm of sexuality is create the space. So ritual is really powerful to get us out of the thinking parts of the brain and deeper into symbolism. Ritual take us deeper into the less thinking parts of the brain. And although our brain is a really powerful sex organ, it's also a powerful barrier to great sex if we're up in our head. So setting the space, setting a ritual, it might be something simple like a candle or some flowers or something that you feel beautiful in or you feel hot in or whatever it might be. It might be music, the lighting, the smells, the scents. So setting the space, taking the time to create the ritual, to create a space. And part of the setting the space is I recommend to set an intention for the practice if you're practicing with a partner. Maybe the intention is to explore a new kind of touch. Maybe the intention is to feel more deep intimacy or a deeper connection. Whatever it is, set your intention together as a partnership for the practice. And I want to say part of Tantra is taking sex orgasm, penetrative sex and orgasm, as it is not the goal. It is not the goal of tantric sex. Tantric sex has no goal besides deep sensation, deep presence, deep connection, and exploring the divine. So set your intention together as a couple. The second practice is a beautiful practice, one of my very favorites, and it's eye gazing, also called soul gazing. So it really is about seeing and being seen by your partner with no distractions, with no words even as distraction. So how you do this is you set a timer on your phone for 2 minutes to start and get comfortable. You can sit cross-legged or you can sit in each other's lap, whatever feels comfortable, but make yourselves comfortable so that you're not fighting against discomfort. And then set a timer and begin with no words to just simply gaze into each other's eyes. And as you do this, if you've never done this before, it can be really powerful. It can be emotional. Emotions can come up. Giggles can come up. That's okay. Giggling is okay, but come back to silence. And just look into your partner's eyes with no words. Have them look into your eyes with no words. And just notice what you feel, what you see, and continue to focus on your breath when you do this. Doing eye gazing for 2 minutes is an incredible way to deepen intimacy. You see your partner in new ways. They see you in new ways. And it has a tendency to cut through the bullshit how we can get stuck in story or patterns or scripts. So I love, love, love eye gazing. The third way to begin to practice Tantra in a partnership is breath work. So breath, sound, and movement are really 3 powerful pillars of Tantra. So with breath, what I recommend is practicing 2 different breaths together in your partnership. One is what we're going to start with is a synchronous breath, and it can help to put your hand on your partner's heart and maybe your hand over that hand. So hand to heart, and you're going to sync up your breathing. So you breathe in together through your nose, and you breathe out together through nose or mouth. So in together and out together. And this also can be really beautiful to be forehead to forehead and kind of also can help you hear and feel your partner's breath, but really getting quiet and syncing up your breath, breathing in together and out together. You can do that for a few rounds of breath of 1 or 2 minutes, and then practice switching into reciprocal breathing. So as you breathe in, your partner breathes out. As you breathe out, your partner breathes in. So you're breathing in reciprocity. You are breathing in their breath. They are breathing in your breath. And that's reciprocal breathing. And play with that for a few minutes. And just be curious, which one stimulates more sexual energy? Which way do you feel deeper connection with your partner? Both are amazing breaths. I love both breaths. It depends on what I'm needing or wanting in that moment, which one I prefer. But play around with it. See which one you prefer. Which one does your partner prefer? And please welcome in conversation and laughter as you're exploring this. This is so exciting to be exploring this, and so do so with love and connection and levity. The 4th tip is foreplay, 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 and more foreplay. Extending out the foreplay. We tend to go right to what we know works to get us to orgasm. So really, it might be a tantric massage. You can Google lingam massages or yoni massages. I'm going to do some podcasts on those coming up, so stay tuned. But really touch each other in different ways. Linger, savor, luxuriate in the foreplay without rushing right to penetrative sex. Sex is not the goal in Tantra. Orgasm is not the goal in Tantra. Pleasure and connection and intimacy and sensation are the goals. And the fifth tip is an adoration practice. Devotion and adoration are big parts of Tantra. And when was the last time you adored your partner? And maybe that feels tender to even think about because we don't do that so well. But when was the last time you showed devotion or adoration for your partner? So a little devotion or adoration practice that I like is to, at the end of your practice together, after you've done a lot of foreplay and maybe you've had sex, maybe you haven't, again, it's not the goal, but to share with your partner 3 things that in this moment you adore about them. And that might be hard if you're feeling like disconnected to your partner or struggling in your partnership, but allow yourself some pause, some moments to take a moment and find 3 things that you adore about your partner. It could be little things, it could be big things, and then share that with your partner and then reciprocate and receive 3 things that your partner adores about you. So that's a sweet little adoration practice that can close your Tantra practice. These were 5 simple ways to begin practicing Tantra. I'm so excited that you guys are here, tuning in, listening, and watching. It is absolutely one of my favorite practices, and it has been life-changing, love-changing, and sex-changing for me. So I love sharing about it. Please feel free to email me or DM me with any questions you have. And your sexy homework for the week is to ask your partner what they know about Tantra. Are they curious about it? Is it something they're open to exploring? Is it something that you guys can explore together? And that's the homework. That's the first step, is having a conversation. I recommend Tantra for every partnership, no matter where you are, whether you are single or partnered, long-term, monogamous, polyamorous. I love Tantra as a tool to deepen connection. So that's your sexy homework. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Thank you for being brave and opening your hearts to love deep.